Supporting evidence and references for the following video, together with a full transcript, can be found on the corresponding webpage at nonpol.com. This video shows high-level ideas from NONPOL, for which we are happy to hear feedback and views. We are looking to continually improve.
The economy. We would like you to watch the whole video, but to save you time, here is an outline of the video content so you can decide if you want to watch all or part of it. 1. Our position on the current state. 2. 24/7 society and full employment. 3. Direct democracy. 4. Focused education. 5. Taxation reform. 6. Trade deals. 7. Nationalize the basics. 8. China pandemic refund. 9. Remove freebies. 10. Self-sufficiency. 11. Control of fiat and digital currencies. 12. End state. 1. Our position on the current state. Changing an economy is a huge undertaking and one where there is no room for mistakes. Economic models must be run, calculations made, and intense input from economic specialists are required. The economy is not a political experiment. It is a financial and economic plan that should not be influenced by political agendas. The economy is the most important reality to the man on the street, as it affects inflation, interest rates, and the cost of living that we and our families face every day. It should be the primary objective of every government to maintain a stable economy that has a realistic growth projection. All the other policies should be geared around improving or supporting the economy. Non-POL would not make major changes to the economy, as this could be disastrous. The current status quo and Bank of England influence would be maintained as best as possible. Our changes will be organic and proactive rather than reactive. As with all our manifesto initiatives, we would run the effort of fixing or improving the economy like running a major project. We would first establish the current economic state and the desired economic end state. We would then define all the actions, costs, and resources required to move from the current state to the end state. Once this is defined and agreed by industry specialists, we would then publish the project plan in the public domain for all to see. The project would be run on Prince2 principles, so that the project is run efficiently and within time frames and budget. Most of our other manifesto initiatives will have a positive, direct or indirect impact on the economy. 2. 24/7 society and full employment. Because of the internet, financial markets and the international time zones, globalization means we have a 24/7 global economy. Non-POL would like to make the UK open 24/7 by 365. Hospitals are already open 24/7, so why not doctor surgeries? See our Health Manifesto initiative. Online banking means your bank is open 24/7, so why not the post office? See our Banking Manifesto initiative. Service stations are open 24/7, and most of them now include a supermarket. So why not every shop? We aim to ignite this 24/7 approach through our Transportation Manifesto initiative. When we achieve 24/7, not only should we have full employment, but the impact on GDP would also allow a much higher minimum wage and the luxury to enforce a 4-day week. With more disposable income and more days to spend it, there will be a huge boost for the entertainment, sport, and leisure activity industries. Besides financial benefits, this 4-day week will reduce stress, improve mental health, and lead towards a happier nation. Technology will be a major factor here. One benefit from the pandemic was the flexibility to work from home. Going forward, all wheelchair and homebound people can have a full career working from home, with the growth of AI, quantum computing, and robots. A lot of mundane, repetitive, difficult, and dangerous work can be carried out through technology. Non-POL is a technology party and will use technology to support workers and the economy. Machines are reliable, don't take sickies, are consistent, accurate, and don't strike for a pay rise. For those frightened of AI, we would enforce the Asimov rules of robotics, so no fear of terminators. Also, we have a good immigration program, see Immigration Manifesto Initiative, not only to enhance our workforce, but also as a revenue stream. We need good immigration to achieve 24/7 by 365 economy. 3. Direct democracy. One of the strongest economies in the world, Switzerland, has been using direct democracy for centuries. With the advances of technology and the current centralized HMRC computer systems, the UK is in a prime position to introduce a direct democracy. With direct democracy, the electorate can be involved in many more decisions, similar to mini referendums. In Switzerland, there are up to 4 issues to vote on each year. We would bring in online voting on key issues, especially issues that affect the economy. Due to party politics and reputation fighting in the House of Commons, many great initiatives fail due to political reasons rather than economic reasons. In the cases where the House can't agree, we would turn to direct democracy. NONPOL has a new voting initiative that we believe is much fairer than the current voting system on referendums, which we call the 70-70 rule. For all referendums, at least 70% of eligible voters must vote, and the vote result must be over 70% for the motion to pass. This ensures that at least 50% of the country has approved the referendum, not like the 27% that actually voted for Brexit. 4. Focused education. Many teenagers leave school not well prepared for life in the real world. They spend years learning subjects such as history or geography that would not benefit their day-to-day activities when they leave education. After the age of 16, they take A-levels and later degrees, often in subjects that do not end up supporting their profession. There are too many pointless degrees, high student debt, or teenagers leaving school at 16 with little prospects. Our Education Manifesto initiative explains how we want to change the education system so that teenagers leave school or university better qualified for the workplace and less debt. We want to change the education system to build a skilled and focused workforce that hits the ground running. If they don't want to go to university, they don't need to take A-levels, in which case they would be trained in another profession or be trained with general skills to walk into a job. A better prepared workforce builds a better and strong economy. School would run to their 18th year, and as part of their graduation, the school would support the leavers by helping them find a new job and supporting their career for a year after leaving school. In Germany, even retail workers are qualified to do their job and provide a good service to customers. Another key issue that currently is draining the economy and its workforce is the pandemic of mental health. Lost productivity and medical costs are increasing due to mental health issues with young people, specifically young girls. We would ban mobile phones in the classroom and foster good mental health practice from secondary schools until they leave. See our comment on the Daily View about how companies are refusing to hire unreliable young workers. Also see our Education Manifesto at link below. 5. Taxation reform. Taxation rules get changed on every budget and sometimes twice a year with mini-budgets. The tax system is too complicated, open to abuse, and does not tax the large corporations fairly. It changes too often and never looks for long-term solutions. Just quick ways to raise revenue or cut costs. Neither very efficiently. The fact that we are striving for full employment and a 24/7 economy will generate a lot more tax revenue, generate more spending and therefore more economic growth. NONPOL will remove VAT, enforce minimum taxes on super companies and tax all the non-essential luxuries. See the details in our Taxation Manifesto initiatives. 6. Trade deals. This is a complex issue and not fixable with quick and easy sound bites. NONPOL's key objectives are to become more self-sufficient as a nation, see section on self-sufficiency coming up, and to ensure that cheap, low-quality imports will be heavily taxed, especially when there is a UK equivalent. We will enforce minimum quality standards so that all imports meet a minimum quality and reject imports that breach intellectual property rights. Other trade deal initiatives will be released when a full analysis has been made of current and planned trade deals, which are changing on a regular basis. Above all, Trade deals are for the benefit of the economy, not specific corporations, countries, or political influence. 7. Nationalize the basics. All citizens deserve a place to live, food, heating, good broadband, a chance for a job and transport to get to work, as well as efficient healthcare. Strikes and holding the country to ransom hurts the vulnerable, as does crippling interest rates on credit cards, loans, and mortgages. We would nationalize the basics that everybody needs to have a comfortable life. In the past, nationalization has led to inefficient services, such as British Rail. However, like the private sector, NONPOL would award bonuses and rewards to the workers where they have met or exceeded targets. These bonuses and rewards would not be available to senior management or above, as they would be rewarded with their appropriate salaries. Bonuses would go to the lower-level workers. Currently, rail prices, utility prices, and interest rates are too complicated. We have the technology to simplify all these pricing models and make the cost to the man on the street simple, consistent, and affordable. Our goal is to break into the top 3 of the world's happiest countries, where we currently sit in 17th position. See our Finance Manifesto Initiative and Benefits Manifesto Initiative, which shows how a nationalised post office or a UK nationalised bank hugely increases revenue and reduces costs. The NHS has shown the world how to run a nationalised institution to support its people. 8. China refund. The fact that China did not allow any international bodies into Wuhan for more than 12 months after the outbreak removes any defence that the outbreak didn't start in Wuhan. If international bodies had been allowed in and determined it was not a lab leak but a zoonotic outbreak, then they would be devoid of responsibility. By not allowing anyone into Wuhan, it tells the world community they had something to hide. Based on this, logically the pandemic was due to the negligence of China. This is obviously a better assumption that they could have deliberately weaponized the coronavirus. As China are negligent, NONPOL will attempt to recoup compensation for the cost of coronavirus on the UK economy. If China refuses to accept this or not come up with a compensation plan, we will recover the money as a levy to all Chinese students in the UK through import tax or through other international agreements. We will also work with other governments to join us in this approach. Their negligence needs to be paid for. Ask Exxon and their Valdez accident. 9. Remove freebies. NONPOL would stop giving out taxpayers' money for free. If anyone receives a benefit from the government, it goes on their HMRC record and will be repaid through a tax code or like a student loan. If they die with a debt to the government, then the government debt is paid before probate payments. See our Benefits Manifesto Initiative. The same happens for prison sentences. Prison is not for free. See our Prisons Manifesto Initiatives. Our manifesto initiatives on immigration also shows how we recover all the costs to train and house immigrants. Foreign aid will also be repayable. See foreign aid initiatives. Self-inflicted injuries will be treated at the cost of the injured unless their insurance pays. NONPOL would make it mandatory for all boats to have rescue insurance, so the cost of lifeboats and helicopter search and rescue would be paid for. All taxpayers' money spent where possible will be recouped and used to better the economy, support the nationalised industries, and the NHS. 10. Self-sufficiency. The Ukraine war and recent supply chain issues have shown how vulnerable the UK is to imports. NONPOL would make the UK as self-sufficient as possible. We would analyse all the imports to see which imports are critical, that we can't generate locally, such as gas and oil. We would build up large reserves to ensure we have the appropriate contingencies, although over time green energy sources would remove this reliance. Where possible on other key products that we rely on, we would look to incentivize industry to produce these products at home. We would devise a short list of everything that we cannot make or produce that is critical for self-sufficiency, and negotiate strong trade deals with multiple partners to ensure an uninterrupted supply chain. This would only apply to essentials and not luxuries, such as diamonds. 11. Control of fiat and digital currencies. As a technology party, NONPOL embraces technological advancements such as AI, quantum computing, blockchain, and Bitcoin if they are used intelligently. In particular, a country's currency is critical to its economic health. The UK has successfully managed to keep the pound, and it is one of the most respected currencies on the planet. However, now that the gold reserve no longer exists, as a fiat currency it is still fragile. We have no contingency should our currency become devalued or affected by external market forces. We expect this not to happen if we have built a solid and growing economy. However, we should have a contingency. Currently, most countries are opposed to Bitcoin, as they have no control over it and do not like its anonymity. This is narrow-mindedness. It is the flexibility and anonymity that makes it an attractive investment. If the UK builds a car, does it matter if it is bought with fiat currency or Bitcoin? It is still a sale, and Bitcoin is highly fungible. The blockchain concept is a great technological advancement for many reasons. In order to embrace this technology, NONPOL would start a GB Bitcoin, which would be very different to the Bank of England digital pound currently being planned. The digital pound is still controlled by the bank. Our GB Bitcoin would use the same Bitcoin technology as other cryptocurrencies and remain anonymous. This would give the economy two currencies that can provide growth, contingency, and promote global trade with the UK. Also, there are major benefits in the cryptocurrency secondary markets, which trade like any other commodity. We would set up a UK GB Bitcoin trading platform for anyone to trade our cryptocurrency anonymously. There would be huge revenues from such a platform. Furthermore, if international customers bought British goods with our cryptocurrency, we would earn money on the export duty. More avenues to bolster the economy. 12. End state. NONPOL are looking for a stable economy that has natural organic growth based on the result of all our manifesto initiatives. We want the economy to get to the stage where it manages itself as all its dependencies are clearly defined, efficient, and self-monitoring. The best economic model that is self-sustaining is where the majority of the workforce is in the middle-class bracket. An economy with a small percentage holding the wealth and a large percentage in the working class leads to an unbalanced economy and ultimately a dictatorship where the rich want to maintain their elite upper class to the detriment of the poor. NONPOL want to ensure the majority of the UK citizens are part of the middle class, similar to Switzerland. The net result of this objective will be that we should have full employment, increased GDP, less cost burden, and many more revenue streams. The man on the street should be on a 4-day week, high pay, like the Swiss and Norway, more disposable income to spend on leisure, entertainment and sporting activities, minimal poverty and homelessness. This will also lead to a much happier workforce, which will naturally greatly reduce mental health issues and the strain on the health service and the next generations.